Minnesota Wild Hockey on Fox Sports North is brought to you by Northland Ford. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Sanford Health. Get stronger, play smarter, return to performance. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by XL Energy. In downtown St. Paul, special pregame ceremony, and we're going to join that right now for former Wild winger Derek Boogaard, who passed away in May.
During his entire 6-year NHL career, Derek was respected by his opponents, adored by his teammates, and loved by his fans.
When it rains, it pours and opens doors that flood the floors with all but always keep us safe and dry. And in the midst of sailing ships, we sink our lips into the ones we love that have to say goodbye. And as I float along this ocean, feel you like an ocean that won't seem to let me go. And when I look to the sky, something tells me you're here with me, and you make everything alright. And when I feel like I'm lost, something tells me you're here with me, and I can always find my way when
I could see him on the ice and how he could battle and how he competed on the ice in his job. And then afterwards, I mean, he was such a nice guy and quiet guy, and just a good guy to be around, and people just kind of gravitated towards him.
Nobody thought that he'd come close to making it. He proved everybody wrong with his hard work, with all the extra time on the ice. He got better and better, and it was something special to see.
He was one of my best friends. We were really close. We were neighbors back home. He was a very good guy, great family man, and a great friend.
And he had that big brother attitude that when you're on the ice, I don't think he loved to fight, but he loved to defend his teammates. He loved being, if we're going to get pushed around, you weren't going to be pushed around when Derek was around, and it's kind of an endearing trait to have.
When he doesn't even have to be on the ice. When he's on the bench, everybody grows a couple inches and gains about 20 pounds. It's huge just knowing that he's there for you, and at any time he's gonna step in for you, and you feel protected.
While I float upon this ocean, I can feel you like an ocean that I hope will never leave. When I look to the sky, something tells me you're here with me, and you make everything alright. And when I feel like I'm lost, something tells me you're here with me, and I can always find my way. Whether I am up or down, or in or out, or just plain overhead instead, it feels like it's impossible to fly. But with you I can spread my wings to see me over everything. They like me, send me when I'm hoping it won't pass me by.
He was a giver. He wanted other guys to be happier. He wanted guys to be comfortable. He was a fun-loving guy. He had a huge heart.
He'd always put a smile on your face, seeing him around the dressing room. He's a big teddy bear, and you can always go to him for a laugh.
You could have your kids around, my kids, and he treated them like gold, and they look forward to seeing Boogie.
Yeah, he was great with kids. He loved it. Kids loved seeing him. They didn't know they made people that big.
I think my lasting memory of him would be when he scored his goal last year.
Boogaard bombs away, score!
The look on his face is something that's etched in my mind, and every time I think of Derek, that that picture of him just pops in my mind.
When I feel like I'm lost, something tells me that you're right here next to me. And I can always find my way when you're here. And I can always find my way.
We are honored to have Derek's family with us this evening. Please welcome Derek's parents, Joanne and Len, his sister Kristen, and brothers Aaron, Ryan, and Curtis. Other members of Derek's family in attendance this evening include his grandparents, Peter and Nancy Boogaard, sister-in-law Lisa McCormick, sister-in-law Gladys Hyde, and stepmother Jody Boogaard. Joining Derek's family on the ice is Minnesota Wild General Manager Chuck Fletcher. Chris Blaut, Executive Vice President and co-founder of Derek's favorite charity, Defending the Blue Line, and the entire Minnesota Wild team, including many of Derek's former teammates. The Minnesota Wild commissioned sports artist Robert Blehert to paint an original likeness of Derek. Chuck Fletcher and Mikko Koivu will now unveil this original painting entitled The Boogeyman and present it to the Boogaard family. We are also pleased to present one of Derek's game-worn jerseys to the Boogaard family. Derek Boogaard was a proud supporter of all U.S. and Canadian servicemen and women. His passion for those who help protect our countries was very deep. One of the many ways he showed his respect to the military was through his support of Defending the Blue Line. The mission of Defending the Blue Line is to ensure that children of parents in military service are afforded every opportunity to continue to participate in hockey. This includes providing free equipment for military kids and offering financial assistance for hockey camps and team fees. In addition, Defending the Blue Line provides complimentary tickets for servicemen and women to attend Minnesota Wild hockey games. In Derek's memory and to support these worthy efforts, the Minnesota Wild organization is pleased to announce a donation of $10,000 to Defending the Blue Line. Derek's parents, Len and Joanne, are graciously donating an additional $6,750. Together, the Minnesota Wild and the Boogaards are proud to present this check totaling $16,750 to Defending the Blue Line in Derek's memory. Accepting the check on behalf of Defending the Blue Line is co-founder Chris Blaut. In addition to their financial donation, Len and Joanne have also donated 150 tickets to tonight's game to Defending the Blue Line to be distributed to local military families. Other representatives of Defending the Blue Line are here tonight courtesy of Wild players who have generously donated their suites for tonight and for other games throughout the season in support of military families. Fans, please give a warm welcome to all of our guests in attendance this evening from Derek's favorite charity, Defending the Blue Line. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our pregame tribute. Please join the Wild organization one more time in showing your support for the Boogaard family in honor of the man that meant so much to the state of hockey. Number 24, Derek Boogaard. Fans, in just a few moments, Len and Joanne Boogaard will drop the ceremonial first puck to begin the game. As the players from both teams return to their respective blue lines for the national anthems, we ask that you please remain standing. Presenting the colors tonight is the Minnesota National Guard Recruiting and Retention Command Color Guard. Please remove your caps and welcome James Bone for the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And now please sing along as James leads us in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Would the team captains please come to center ice for tonight's ceremonial face-off? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome once again Joanne and Len Boogaard. Fans, as part of the tribute to Derek Boogaard tonight, the Wild are pleased to announce a permanent tribute is also being displayed in the main concourse across
Well, a moment that nobody wants to plan, but a moment here tonight that really had to happen for fans and players and broadcasters alike. That was tough.
Well, you can never say there'll be closure because he was loved by so many that he will never be forgotten, not by Wild fans and not by his teammates, and certainly not by us. Had a lot of great moments with Derek Boogaard over the years and a couple of road tours with him, and you always can remember that look in his eye when you looked at him. You always knew he was up to something. He always had that little smirk like he just pulled a prank and you didn't know about it yet. So that's what I'll always remember about Derek Boogaard.
You didn't nap on the bus
no.
when Boogie was on the bus.
Absolutely not.
Well, let's take a look at our starting goaltenders. It's brought to you by Northland Ford.
Mika Kiprusoff playing in his 500th career game as a Flame. Of course, he was with San Jose prior to that, but a little benchmark there as one of the Calgary Flame goaltenders. And, well, Nicholas Backstrom, good to see him back between the pipes, coming off of a 3-game winning streak here, so hopefully he can continue to carry that. He's been fairly dominant against the Calgary Flames in his career, and he's carrying a couple of shutouts into this game against the Flames, including the 41 save shutout in the first meeting between these two teams in early November.
Wild in red, Koivu at center ice. The Flames are in white. Number 13, Ole Jokinen will take the draw with Mikko Koivu, and we're underway from St. Paul. Glad you could join us on a very emotional beginning to this game.
A long tribute there, and then of course 2 anthems, and so they've got to get the legs going again. That goes for both teams, so we'll see how they do in the first 5 minutes of this one.
Flip down low into the zone, and Kiprusoff will poke it away to the corner. Heatley is locked up there. He gets free. Back to the point. Scandella. Spurgeon shot, tipped and blocked. It was tipped by Danny Heatley out high in the slot.
A penalty
and then
coming
whistled
up.
down, and we're going to get a penalty early in this game.
I think it was maybe a little bit of a high stick, and that's what they were checking on Setaguchi to see that he wasn't cut.
Calgary, number 5, 2 minutes, high sticking.
Giordano with the 2-minute minor, so no further damage to Setaguchi up in front of the net. Yeah, just caught him. A telltale sign of a player's head going back like a Pez dispenser, and that was whistled very quickly.
That didn't take long. First power play of the game to the Wild. Scandella gets double teamed at the hash mark, gets it back to the point. Covering the point for him there was Prosser, who rotated over. Quick shot goes wide. Scandella, left side, flips one into the opposite corner. Cullen is there, but getting there first was Butler to chop it away, and that one ricochets up into the crowd and out of play.
Well, Mike Yeo said this morning, asked him about the power play, and it looks like it's trending upward, it's getting some more goals, but he said, you know what, we need games where we get the 2 and 3 goals on the power play, not just one at a time. We get games like that, you can really draw some separation, and you make teams pay for taking penalties against you.
Koivu back on the ice with his wingers, Setaguchi and Heatley, after a quick rest after starting the game. Bouchard is manning the blue line as a forward, and he's out there with the only defenseman on the ice right now, and that's Jared Spurgeon, who gathers this puck up, taps it ahead. Koivu working from the left wall, down low to Heatley. Setaguchi, or Clutterbuck's in the crease now. I take that back. Setaguchi is not out there on this shift. Clutterbuck is on this first power play on the wing.
Well, the Wild continue to try and get some kind of a presence in front of that net, and Cal Clutterbuck on this power play unit is that guy. You got to get some size out there, and guys that are willing to take a beating in front of the net in order to get deflections and maybe some rebounds as well, and that's what the power play is about.
Wild power play, 22nd best in the National Hockey League coming into this contest. The penalty killers for Calgary, 23rd best in the league coming in. Here's Pierre-Marc Bouchard. All the way across to Jared Spurgeon. As you were talking about size, they were showing Jared Spurgeon. He just plays big.
Yeah.
And he'll have the puck at the point. It's slipped through. He'll rotate it back to the near side. Here's Bouchard waiting as Clutterbuck was in deep in the zone. Now gives it to Clutter off a skate. Heatley jams it through. Here's Clutterbuck. He has a chance. He shoots. He scores. Hello, Cal Clutterbuck.
Interesting. Everyone kind of got caught flat-footed, and I think Calgary felt that the Wild were going to be offside, but they all held the line very well. And then when they came in the zone, I think Calgary was flat-footed and not really aware that the Wild were steaming in the zone. Watch as it wait, and then the move, and then Calgary just kind of standing there, and a couple of nice passes there, and a beautiful move in front of the net by Cal Clutterbuck. I thought he only scored short-handed goals. He's got, I think, a power play marker now.
His 6th of the season, and now he has 2 power play goals, 2 short-handed goals, and 2 game-winning goals on the season. And they center one in front. It slides in on Kiprusoff. He had it caught up under his body, and it slid wide. Well, the Wild have been getting behind as of late, and one thing that Mike Yeo said is, hey, we were playing with fire, and getting behind doesn't work, and it caught up with them against the Oilers on Friday.
Yeah, even though they're a team that played fairly well from behind, it's like it's tempting fate when you have to chase all game long.
Puck picked up and carried in by Stempniak. Stempniak from an angle, big rebound, and a great play out front to swat that puck away by Colton Gillies. That's a play that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but he saved the goal. Gillies heads to the bench, and the 22-year-old makes the big defensive play. Here's Brodziak. He'll fire one into Kiprusoff, and Kiprusoff made the save. Brodziak gets his own rebound. Now to Nick Johnson, the Calgary native, to Darryl Powell, the former Flyer. And Powell working along the wall, hands it off down low along the boards to Nick Johnson. Chasing it behind and picking up the puck is Giordano. Almost had that one touched away by Brodziak. And the Flames will move towards center, dump it ahead. It got by Nate Prosser. He hustles down low. Bork got there first. Now Falk comes in to help out. It squirts free all the way to the point. Near side Bouwmeester. Stick save, pushed to the corner neatly there by Nicholas Backstrom. Up the left wing side, the Wild will break it out. This is Nick Johnson. He fires one from long range, steered aside by Kiprusoff. Wild making a change behind the play, and that'll give the Flames a little bit of room. Powell was in on the forecheck. He got tangled up and is slowly making his way to the Minnesota bench. Stajan tried a little drag move. That was very unsuccessful. Chasing the puck is Setaguchi. Knocking the puck down is Koivu. Koivu, quick shot. Save Kiprusoff. That was a nice stop, and the rebound cleared.
Oh, the release is so important, and Mikko Koivu shows you why. He has a pretty good shot because he gets rid of it in a hurry, and Kiprusoff had to be very good on that one.
Friday night, Calgary was in St. Louis. They got shut out 2-0. And of course, the Wild were here at home against Edmonton, and they fell 5-2 to the Oilers. Clutterbuck with a hit along the boards on Kostopoulos. That got the crowd a little fired up. Bouchard fighting. Oh, and a sharp angle shot goes off of Backstrom and in.
Well, some chatter going on here as the Calgary Flames even up the score here on a less than stellar type goal, but it's a tricky one, and I think that's the only place that he could have gone with it, as it just gets thrown at the back of the leg of Nicholas Backstrom. Giordano, who took the penalty actually in the game that gave the Wild the power play chance and therefore their power play goal. Maybe he saves himself a little bit there with a nice forecheck and banks one in off the leg of Nicholas Backstrom, and there wasn't anywhere else he really could go. Everyone was covered. He throws one off the inside of the leg of Backstrom in the tie game here early.
How does a goal like that affect the goaltender's psyche?
I say goaltenders that aren't mentally strong, it hurts them, but Nicholas Backstrom's been able to shake off goals like that and just continue to play well, and Harding talked about the fact that he's been able to do that a lot because of the way Nicholas Backstrom has spoken to him about it. So I think Backstrom will be okay in this one, and the Flames certainly are playing some desperate hockey.
Josh Harding gave up a similar type of goal on Friday against the Oilers. Wild go right back to work. They had some great offensive zone possession time before that quick goal by Giordano, by the way, his 4th of the year. And so we're even at 1. First period action in St. Paul. Second meeting out of 6 on the season. The Wild won the first one 3-0 earlier this month up in Calgary. A shutout by the guy between the pipes tonight, Nicholas Backstrom. Loose puck at center. Here comes Gill. He's trying to make it a 2-on-1. Gets extended, lost the puck. He'll battle all the way to the wall, trying to gain control of that puck. In comes Straubitz, made the hit, missed on the puck. Kostopoulos bounces one into the slot, pushed ahead but not out. Gillies just avoided a collision. Falk tried to clear one, loose puck, a chance, centered in front, shot, oh, Harding came up with a huge save, or excuse me, Backstrom with a huge save on a great chance.
Well, that answers your question about Nicholas Backstrom.
Wow. It looked as though they were going to get a tap in on the far side, and he got across very quickly. Wild even with the Calgary Flames, 1-1, still thanks to that save right there.
1-1 back at XL Energy Center. I'm Marnie Gellner. Minnesota defenseman Mike Lundin is ready to make his Wild debut, but it won't be tonight. Lundin is a graduate of Apple Valley High School, but in our Sanford Health injury report, we see he's been out all season with a back injury. He's ready to go, but Coach Mike Yeo didn't want to make any personnel changes tonight other than in the goal. Yeo said he wanted to use the same defensive combinations that he used on Friday to give that group a chance to bounce back after a disappointing performance against Edmonton. Yeo said those guys deserve that, but we should see Lundin soon. Dan and Mike, maybe tomorrow night against the Lightning or Wednesday against the Oilers.
Yeah, Yeo said this morning that Lundin is game ready and he is just looking for an opportunity. Whereas Greg Sandin, of course, maybe needs a few more practices. He's only had 3 full team practices since he's been good to go.
Puck bouncing around in the corner to the left of Nicholas Backstrom in the Minnesota zone. Tapped ahead along the boards by Cal Clutterbuck. Pushed ahead now by Matt Cullen, who will chase it down. That goal by Giordano is going as unassisted to tie the game at 1-1. Good move down low. Stempniak shoots, he scores! Lee Stempniak drove in, made a nice move, and then buried one. Looked like it went 5-hole on Nicholas Backstrom. It's 2-1.
Calgary's coming at the Wild in waves here, and then getting some nice line rushes and good forechecks, and it's creating some chances. Look at this feed right here, and Stempniak makes a move, and Scandella just got burned on that one. He was looking down at the puck. When you watch the puck as a defenseman, that's what happens. You get walked, and just slipped that one underneath Nicholas Backstrom. A quick 2-1 score, and the little role reversal here for this game as the Wild got out to a 1-0 lead, and now they're following again.
Well, in talking about the game against Edmonton Friday, Coach Yeo said we didn't have the right mindset and focus right from the start, and not sure if he's getting what he wants early in this one either. They're down by a goal, even though the Wild did score first on a Cal Clutterbuck power play goal.
Well, the Calgary Flames, they're on a 4-game road trip, and they've lost the first 3, and this is the 4th game, and so Mike Yeo said this morning they're playing a little desperate. There's Brent Sutter, and I'm sure he's let them know how desperate they should be.
Wild win the draw out of the neutral zone, moving quickly towards center, and then driving the puck in on goal was Nick Schultz. Giordano slows down, reverses direction, sends it up. Glenn Cross couldn't get a piece of it. Quick shot, rebound, goes to the corner. Koivu fires a quick shot. That was blocked in front of the goaltender. It was knocked down in front by Stempniak, and now it's knocked back behind. Cleared at the point. Nope, now it's finally off of a deflection. Off of Iginla, then off of Koivu, and back into the Minnesota zone. Ahead on the wing. Nick Johnson. Stop, go. Down low, it's run right into the boards. Appears to be okay. In comes Pau to help out. Looked up in the air to be held in. Yes, held in. Brodziak across. Johnson shooting. He scores! Nick Johnson against his hometown team.
This is perseverance right here. Watch as he takes it into the zone. He just gets crushed into the wall. And some guy's bell would be ringing and not be able to finish this playoff. But watch how this transpires. They keep the puck in. Great play by Brodziak. And look who scores. The guy who just got crushed. My goodness, that's a good payback for Nick Johnson.
He didn't make it through the game in his hometown appearance against Calgary earlier this month. He got called for a headbutt that appeared to be a missed call, but nonetheless, he was kicked from the game, and he responds by getting a goal against the Flames, and we're tied at 2. Left wing wall, pushed ahead. Jackman tried to fire it across in front, and it got through to the corner. Now Kostopoulos has it.
This game's looking a little loose for both teams.
This is not what I would have anticipated, but I guess that's why they're playing it on the ice. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, you have 4 goals in this game already, and it's not even half a period old.
Here's a chance, backhanding one, and he scores! A soft backhander from the left side by Brody.
And that's it for Nicholas Backstrom, as Josh Harding is going to take him out of this game. And that you don't see too often. Nicholas Backstrom does not give up goals that easily, and he has allowed 3 goals on 8 shots, and he's done for the night. Josh Harding, who's coming off of a loss against Edmonton, will get it. And all 3 have gone 5-hole on Nicholas Backstrom, and very uncharacteristic for him to allow goals like that.
The rookie TJ Brody, just playing in his 8th game, gets his first goal, and it's a 3-2 game. You mentioned we've got 5 goals in the back of the net, and we haven't played half a period yet. Wow.
Well, it may be somewhat fitting here on the Derek Boogaard tribute night that one of Boogaard's best friends, Josh Harding, is now playing in the game. Harding has Boogaard's name on the back of his mask, along with Pavel Demitra.
Well, you know, Mike Yeo talks so much after a loss this season about how does the team respond. That's what he's concerned about. He probably won't be very happy with the response here, as Clutterbuck, I think, is going to go for a little collision off of the face-off.
Well, it was a high stick, and they're going to look to see if it should be a double minor, as that one caught Blake Como, the newest Calgary Flame, up high.
He's got 2 minutes for high stick.
It's only 2. Como picked up waivers and watched the left side, and bang, whoa, does he ever catch him? And it was inadvertent as he was lifting the stick, but it came all the way up. And so the Wild not only trail 3-2, but they have to kill a penalty now as well.
First power play of the game. Brody just scored. He fires one that goes off of traffic, maybe Harding, and ends up going just wide.
A great challenge by Harding. He was about a good 3.5 feet out on top of that blue paint.
What's the key, Mike, when you come in off the bench this early in a game?
Well, the good thing is you actually went through warm-up, so you should still have, you know, a little bit of stretch in you, a little bit of warmth, rather than sitting on the bench for 2.5 periods. So the key is just to remember that you are in this game and you're focused, and Harding knows what his role is.
Ginla centers it in front. A quick shot goes wide. It rolled off the top of the stick of TJ Brody, who hadn't scored a goal coming in, has been very involved here in the middle of this period. Cleared all the way down by the Wild. Calgary with 9 shots so far, 5 for the Wild. To center, Bouwmeester. Harding. Around the corner, Cullen drags it along with traffic back, now rings it around to the near side. Koivu tried to flag that one down. Bouwmeester, the NHL Ironman, gets it, lost it. Up along the boards, Cullen turns, runs into Como. Como battles through a stick check there. Out of the corner, they're working on top. Giordano fakes, gives it up to Jokinen. Jokinen slides it down low. He'll get it right back at the hash mark. Olli Jokinen backhands one to the point. Giordano goes to the left side. A centering attempt got through, and it's poked out by Captain Mikko Koivu.
Now, Calgary has one of the better road power plays in the National Hockey League. You can see them moving the puck around quite well.
Off the boards behind Harding. Drop back into the corner for Tanguay. Tanguay lost it. Falk has it. Clears it to center. Didn't get it all the way down. Back to pick it up is Derek Smith, a free agent that joined this team in July. Now Bouwmeester chasing. 529th consecutive game for Bouwmeester. That shot goes high off the glass behind Harding. Penalty time has expired, so the Wild kill off the Clutterbuck penalty. Horak getting roughed up in the corner a bit, and then to the opposite side we go, and the Wild flip the puck high in the air. Quick turn, Bouwmeester wants to get to the quick transition. Kostopoulos fires a wrist shot in and out of the glove of Harding. Into the slot, Kostopoulos missed it, partially fanned on it, put it on the stick of Marco Scandella. He goes off the glass, sends it down deep. Spinning and twisting and battling his way down low was Setaguchi. Now a loose puck, here's Heatley to Koivu in the corner. Mikko walks in front with a shot, and somehow that got through a lot of traffic untouched.
Well, Koivu was waiting for the screen to appear, and it did. He almost used that to his advantage.
The Wild are called for offside as they get chatting it up again.
Calgary up 3-2. A lot of goals in this game, and Miikka Kiprusoff used to be the kind of guy that would just destroy the Wild, but guess what? The tables have turned, and the Minnesota Wild have found a way to solve him in a great fashion, putting a lot of pucks behind him. And they put 2 behind him already in this one on only 5 shots.
5 goals, half a period. Setaguchi had it poke checked away. Push back to Hannon, to Giordano, to center off a shin pad. Here's Koivu. Wild in the 5th game of a 6-game homestand. It concludes tomorrow night. Heatley drops one back. It's poke check free, but controlled by Setaguchi. Tried to loft one to the corner to Mikko Koivu. It was intercepted. Here's Iginla across the line. Giordano's shot is off a stick and goes to the corner. Sharp angle shot by Jokinen is turned aside. Back to the point. Held in there by Brody. Brody to Jokinen. Jokinen leaves it there. Here's Iginla. Jerome Iginla down low. He has been tough on the Wild. The former Dallas draft pick has. Now Jokinen rotates it across, and it'll be just dumped in deep off the back wall, and it's covered up by Harding. And Clayton Stoner trying to clear up the traffic in front, and Glenn Cross has no response right now, just looking for help.
Well, his response might be to just let him shove him so that he draws a penalty, and Clayton Stoner might get the only 2 in this altercation. Watch the last game of the Oilers crashed the net, and they were able to score goals because of it. Look at that, right in the crease. And watch this, a lot of pressure here, a lot of pressure on the goal, and then, of course, this goal, another goal from pressure around the net. Nugent Hopkins pokes that one home, and that's why I think Clayton Stoner is doing everything he can to get the leading goal scorer, Curtis Glencross, out of the crease. And he did take Glencross with him, and I think they both got 2, and I think Glencross is probably saying, man, I got punched in the face a few times there. I should get the benefit of the doubt and get at least my team the power play, but that did not occur here. It took them both.
Well, it's all part of what we mentioned earlier, is Coach Joe wants to see how his team responds. Well, Clayton Stoner responding to what we just showed you, and fortunately for Clayton Stoner, did not leave the Wild shorthanded. It's 4-on-4. Here's Bouchard. Poke check briefly off his stick. He'll chase after it. Now here comes a good hit on the back wall by Cullen. Spinning to Bouwmeester. He'll dump it out to center. It was behind Tanguay, who backs his way across the red line. Dumps it up on the wing. Butler has it across. Bouwmeester, a one-timer. That is Josh Harding going right to left and robbing the Flames again.
I got to tell you that it's a tougher save to make that kind of save on the blocker hand, because you're holding the stick and it becomes an impediment sometimes. But watch how he gets across and very nicely traps it between his elbow and the goal pad. Man, that was a very good save. Glove hand, a little more free-flowing. Blocker hand, well, it's kind of handcuffs you sometimes, but he didn't look handcuffed in the least.
Made another nice save there on Giordano, who scored the first goal of the game unassisted. Now a centering pass is knocked down. Brodziak tried to dump one through Giordano to get it out front, and it was a good defensive play, and Giordano's going to take a hit from Clutterbuck, but reverses with the puck. Now it's slid ahead. Hannon sent it across. It's dumped in deep by Backlund, and Clutterbuck tries to gain control. It's knocked back along the boards. Prosser reaching for it, couldn't get it. Harding is waiting at the goal line. Flips away from Josh Harding. Picked up by Justin Falk. Slides it across the empty goal mouth. Rene Bourque then fires on goal, and it's gloved and hung on to by Josh Harding. Close call for the young defenseman in his own end.
Minnesota Wild looking for their defense to make good decisions. And this is the goal earlier. Stempniak walks Scandella, who was looking down at the puck rather than the chest of his opponent. And this most recent play here by Justin Falk, he wanted to go cross crease, but he didn't see Bork stepping into the picture. Those are decisions that can be tough, and that's where the Wild have to be careful of what they're doing.
Butler's wrist shot went off Ola Jokinen out in front of Harding. Now his centering attempt comes free to Mikko Koivu. He'll dip back down, now leads one for Jared Spurgeon on the right wing side. Schultz back ahead, out of the reach of Jared Spurgeon. Heatley kept it in. Nice play by Danny Heatley to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Koivu has it knocked away from him by Jokinen. Gathered up back inside the blue line by Bouwmeester to Iginla. His shot partially blocked by Schultz. Jokinen, 32 years old, 14th season in the National Hockey League. And a loose puck picked up on the right wing side by Jared Spurgeon. Everybody was behind him, so the young defenseman just sent it deep in the zone and heads to the bench for a change. Butler knocked down on the wall, centered in front, a little loft bouncing pass intended for Darryl Powell, just missed. Tapped ahead by Brody. Knocked back down low behind the goal line by Nick Johnson. Brodziak crashing the wall. Powell is working for it. It slides free. Stajan had it for a moment. Now Powell chasing after it. He'll get the puck. Powell to the point. Scandella being pressured. Now it's Prosser's shot. That goes wide to the near side. Off the boards behind the goal up the right side. Jackman is there. He gets spun around. Down goes Powell, and they're going to be offside at the Minnesota blue line and a stop in the action. Fox Sports North Prep Zone, presented by Wells Fargo, is your behind-the-scenes look at prep sports. This week we look back at the state football championships and hear from the players and coaches after their state tournament wins. Plus a preview of the upcoming winter sports season. Fox Sports North Prep Zone, Tuesday at 6:30, only right here on Fox Sports North. Off the draw in the neutral zone, Calgary wins the draw. Across the line, they'll flip it in deep all the way across to the far corner. Climbs down the glass, and it's cleared ahead to Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Flips a backhander out to Nick Schultz, who catches up with it, crosses center, and fires one into the Calgary zone. Kiprusoff, Clutterbuck, picked up by TJ Brody. Up the middle to center. Too far for Bork, but Brody goes back to get it. Brody around behind, now being chased there by Clayton Stoner. Brody will turn, send it down low. Former Badger Rene Bork lost an edge. He went down. Puck picked up by Horak. Horak to the point to Brody. And Brody gets around Clutterbuck. He'll drive down low. Backhands one out front. It connects, but it connects with Pierre-Marc Bouchard, who clears the puck up in the air as they go for a change on the fly. 3.5 to go here in the first period. Hannon sends it to center, picked off, backhanded from the center circle, in deep by Brad Staubitz. Staubitz had 2 double minors in the first period alone against Edmonton the other night. He said he was selfish, and we would expect him to play much smarter when it comes to taking penalties here tonight. That shot from the corner was kicked away by Harding. Staubitz protecting the puck in the corner. Now it slides free behind. He comes back in, pokes at it again. It's controlled now off a deflection to the right wing wall. Bouwmeester sends it into the corner. Stempniak pushes it to the far side. Good hustle and a good hit on the far side. Backhanded towards the goal. It goes by the glove of Josh Harding. Gillies collides there. Lost his stick. Tried to wrestle a stick away from his opponent. Couldn't do it. Puck comes to the line, but not out. A soft wrist shot didn't make it through. A swing and a miss out in the high slot by Stempniak.
This is the kind of pressure that can tire your team out and make you take penalties.
Well, a whistle here in the neutral zone will give us a chance to show you what's going on with a Menards game reset. Giordano, Stempniak, and Brody have scored for Calgary. Clutterbuck and Nick Johnson for the Wild. And Backstrom gave up 3 goals on just 8 shots, and that would end his evening here in St. Paul.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often where Nicklas Backstrom gets lifted from a game.
Well,
especially a shutout streak that he brought into this game against Calgary. Couple games heavy.
Butler being pressured by Mikko Koivu, rotates it to his defensive partner, that's Bouwmeester, and the puck from center ice is relayed on into the Minnesota zone. Spurgeon is there, Koivu with a sweep at it, missed along the wall. Now Glencross sends it back to the point. That shot didn't make it through. It's going to be held in with a quick shot on goal by Bouwmeester. Jackman tips it, flips it up in the air. It's gloved and knocked down. Cleared but not out. Bouwmeester's shot went off of Danny Heatley. Bouwmeester steps up. He'll keep it in the zone again. Wild bottled up until Koivu gets this puck and slides it through the neutral zone. It was just behind Devin Setaguchi. Bouwmeester off some gloves through center. And they're going to be offside, or a hand pass will cause play to stop with 1:28 remaining here in the period.
Well, there's a lot of responses. Mike Gill talks about responding after a tough game, and there's also responses within a game. How do they respond to being down 3-2 when, I don't know, I guess you say they really didn't earn or deserve to be down 3-2. A few uncharacteristic type goals against Nicholas Backstrom, and he gets lifted, and now the Wild have to fight back in a game. They're only down by a goal, but first time this season they've given up 3 goals in the first period.
You saw Powell and Bork jousting off the face-off. Powell the left winger, Bork the right winger for the Calgary Flames, and they will do it again. Oh, now, as Bork looks like he's heading to the bench for a change. And Powell is pushed out of the scrum by Pierre-Marc Bouchard as the Wild make a change as well. Bouchard will gather up that puck, finds an opening enough to flip it into the zone. Brody trying to handle that one as it comes down. Hannon off the boards, through traffic, back to Stoner, who glides back into the Minnesota zone, looking up ice. Tim Jackman, the former Park Center Pirate, watching. Ahead now to Bouchard. Backhands one in off the boards. Back first is Brody, chased by the other number 7, that's Matt Cullen. A minute to go here in the first period in St. Paul. All 5 goals scored in the first half of this period, and now things have, I guess, settled down a bit, if that's a good way of putting it. Clutterbuck got a piece of that one at center. He'll immediately head across the ice to the Minnesota bench for a change. Brodziak battling right below you there. Back to the point, long wrist shot. Oh, that didn't miss by much. Marco Scandella got the wrist shot through. Spurgeon will dump it around behind. Powell controls. Darryl Powell looking for some space. Turns, fires. Stick save made by Kiprasov. Como, who just came over from the Islanders, hustles back the other way, drives it in off the back wall in the Minnesota zone. Final seconds of the period, and the puck will slide slowly into the Calgary zone, and that's where it will end. Nicholas Backstrom didn't make it through the period. The Wild are down by 1 after 1.
Well, the Wild came close to tying this game as this puck goes just over the pad and just sneaks over top of the crossbar. And that was a Scandella shot. But the Wild still trail after 1.
Are you ready for a little face-off?
Let's do it.
All right. Marnie is up next. He'll talk with Minnesota Wild goal scorer Nick Johnson next. North is brought to you by McDonald's. Quench your thirst. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. By Luther Nissan Kia, where the bottom line is trust. And by Clam Outdoors, for all your ice fishing needs. Visit the great outdoors at clamoutdoors.com.
Speak your mind up, come on baby, free yourself. Yeah, don't let nobody try and steal your soul. Original. All right.
We started the evening with a tribute to Derek Boogaard, who passed away tragically in May. His mom and dad, his sister, his brothers, all here tonight.
A lot of Boogie sweaters in the stands, both with Rangers apparel and Wild apparel. And no, we will never forget.
You spend a little time around a young man like that, and he's pretty well etched into your memory. As we get started in the second period, quick little move at the line by Koivu. There's sticks all over him. He got rid of it. Schultz fires, and that goes off Kiprusoff and out the other side. 3-on-2 the other way. Glenn Cross, Jokinen, center shot. Harding with another nice save. Well played by the Flames.
He's being asked to make some stellar saves in this game, and the one thing Mike Yeo talked about this morning was the fact that you don't want to trade chances with the opposition, in particular high-scoring chances such as this one. Watch the delayed move there by Jokinen to get it across, and look who he's getting it to. It's Jarome Iginla, formerly known as the Wild Killer, although he hasn't been that much as of late. That kind of play right there can certainly give a head coach the willies.
This is Iginla's 63rd game against the Wild.
Yeah.
He's going to end up someday with a full season of games against the Minnesota Wild. Setaguchi lost his edge and went down. In turn, here come the Flames back the other way. They'll drive down the right side. That shot was high to the glove side, or excuse me, to the stick side on Josh Harding. Dump back in by Cuomo. Centering attempt is knocked away. Marco Scandella broke that up. He leads it up along the boards. It's clear to head off the right wing side by Danny Heatley. Clutterbuck is chasing now. Bouwmeester knocks it up the near wall. Kostopoulos overskates it, lost it. Cullen finds it, rotates it back across. Scandella sends it through traffic, and it's controlled by the Calgary Flames in their own zone. The Wild did score first in this game. It was Cal Clutterbuck on the power play, and the Wild have not lost in regulation when scoring first this season. They're 6-0-3 when they get on the board first. Clutterbuck to Cullen, bouncing puck, cuts in, gives it up. Bouchard, sharp angle, and there are too many bodies in the way. That shot just did not have much of a chance of getting through. Brody across. Smith sends it into the Minnesota zone. Crosser sends it right back out. Here's a chance now, driving down low with a quick sharp angle shot on goal with Stobbins.
That was a good play. He had no other choice, and he threw it and created a good rebound.
Centering pass, shot, saved by Harding. Again, Josh Harding comes up huge again on Rene Bourque.
Yeah, those are grade A chances the Wild can ill afford to give up. And that was point blank by Bourque, who knows how to put the puck in the net. Watch this play here. It gets dropped by Tanguay, their leading scorer. And just a zip shot there by Rene Bourque. Watch Harding get back and get his entire body in the way, and that just caught the upper arm on the blocker side as he corralled the rebound. Penalty at the end of that play went to Peters, and so the Wild will be shorthanded now.
A slash on Warren Peters. May have been more than what we saw there. That didn't look like much, but nonetheless, it'll put the Flames on their second power play of the game. Across to Bourque, who got himself offside.
Well, Bourque will get his opportunities. He has that good release, and you cannot give guys like Bourque and Iginla the kind of chances that we've seen them get in this period already.
Falk will send one in. Kiprusoff will tee it up, and here come the Flames working on the man advantage. They were 0 for 4 on the power play in that loss against St. Louis on Tuesday. Bourque sends that one around behind as the former Badger took a backhander in on Harding. Falk off the back wall, off the glass, and all the way down. Giordano methodically gains center, sends it in. It got by Harding on the back wall, who had come back to cut it off. This got by Koivu. Giordano rotates it to the right side, controlled there, wrist shot. A lot of traffic in front. Puck gets knocked to the corner. It was hung up in the skates. It's going to be knocked down by Bouwmeester at the right point. Bouwmeester slings it back to the right side. A soft pass across. Oh, and Iginla looked like he had all the net to shoot at. He just softly tapped it towards Harding, and Harding got across. I'm not sure why Iginla was so casual about that.
I think he was looking for a hole that he did not find.
Iginla now fires and he shoots it wide. It'll come out of the zone. It looked like he thought it was just going to be a simple tap in.
Well, watch as the back door is wide open there now. He just was handcuffed. It was in his feet, and so he got about as much on it as he could. And it was still a great save there by Harding, who's robbed Iginla twice in this period on backdoor type plays.
Colton Gillies clearing the puck on the penalty kill. There you see the time, 15 seconds to go in the man advantage for Calgary. This is Bouwmeester. Across the line, it's bounced off of Como. It comes back out to center. They'll regroup. Now loose at center. Short-handed rush, but it's poked away from Darryl Powell, and he ends up catching Kyle Brodziak offside and a stoppage of play.
Watch the save on the puck that had eyes to get through all the way across, and good pad save there by Harding, getting his entire body across. He's played very well in relief in this hockey game. Peters ready to get out of the box, and the Wild have switched their D pairings up here. So we saw that Mike Yeo wanted to keep these guys to see how they respond together, and well, he's now made some changes.
Flames power play time has expired. They have had a couple of what I would call grade A scoring chances already in this period, but nothing to show for it as Clutterbuck tries a little move to get in on Brody, goes back to get the puck, centered across for Bouchard as Cullen slung one out of the corner. Falk looks like he snapped his stick, and he did. Cullen chasing it behind. Cullen is hit on the back wall, takes the check, lost the puck. Here come the Flames back at center ice. Jackman is hit there by Clutterbuck. And out come the Wild. Long stretch pass ahead is off the mark. And keep an eye on Clutterbuck. He seemed maybe to be shaking a little bit on that check he threw at Tim Jackman, the Minnesota native. As he heads to the bench. Turned over now. Centered in front. Off a skate. Setaguchi has it. Stoner had it. But it slides right back to the point. It's fired wide to the Minnesota goal. And that puck will end up out of play in the netting in the Minnesota end. Well, how did the Vikings fare without AP? Check out FoxSportsNorth.com for game highlights and Brian Hall's analysis. Wild down by a goal. Calgary pressing. Wild first in the Northwest Division coming in 13-6-3, and the Flames last in the Northwest 8-12-1 on the season, but playing as expected as a desperate team. Centering attempt for Como comes all the way through to the wall, off the boards as Giordano waited for it. Dumps it ahead on the wing. Backlund sends it down low in the corner. Fighting his way out of the corner, the backhanding it is Como. Stempniak tried to center across. It was knocked down and then cleared down the ice, at least to center ice. Setaguchi couldn't gain control. He battles after the play with Como. And now ahead to Como at center, inadvertently dumped it deep in his own zone. Brodziak shoots, hit the pipe.
Oh man.
Oh my.
That looked like it could have gone in and out, but waved off immediately by the ref.
Back comes Iginla to Jokinen. Ola Jokinen. Back to the point. Butler towards the goal. Off a deflection and into the glass behind Harding. Flipped high in the air and all the way back down.
Well, both teams with some defensive miscues in this game, and it created opportunities. And that time, Kyle Brodziak almost created a tie game. Watch this shot, and it comes straight off of the crossbar. Those are the ones that do sometimes catch the back bar, but this one did not. It's clearly off the red pipe and out, and so very close to tying this game.
Brodziak has an assist in this game on the Nick Johnson goal in the first period. Here's a chance for Heatley, and he went to fire, and the shot was blocked.
They waited too long, and the step up took away his opportunity.
Bouwmeester headmans a pass out to center ice. Again, backhands it to the right wing side. Powell is there. He settles it down. Ahead out of the neutral zone. He caught Nick Johnson spinning, looking for the puck, and it's controlled. Smith across to Brody. There's your shots on goal at the bottom of the screen. Nick Johnson to Falk. Gloved and knocked down. poked free from Derek Smith, the young defenseman. Now he hustles back, rotates it right. Knocked away by Brodziak. That goes into the Minnesota Wild bench. And a stop in the action. Wild down by 1 here in the second.
We are back at XL Energy Center on Derek Boogaard Tribute Night. The Boogaard family donated 150 tickets to tonight's game. And Major Ryan Cochran is holding one of those tickets. He's here tonight because of the Boogaard family. And you got to know Derek personally as well. What kind of a human being was he?
Derek was remarkable. I was fortunate enough to meet Derek through a partnership between the Minnesota Wild and the Minnesota Army National Guard. And he really held the Army values, everyone else before yourself, the selfless service. Absolutely terrific human being.
And he supported the military very much. He was part of defending the blue line, and you knew that your service meant a lot to him. What did his support of the military mean to you guys?
The boogeyman has quite a reputation around here for a guy with lunch pail-sized hands who would give you a hug and give you the shirt off his back. He was pretty remarkable, and I think it ran deeper than anything else. It's like family.
And the tribute was emotional, wasn't it?
Absolutely emotional. It's pretty tough to watch, but I want to say thank you to his family and the Minnesota Wild for making this happen. I know there's a lot of grateful soldiers and families here today.
Major Cochran, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Dan and Mike, this section is full of military members. A lot of them are here courtesy of the Boogaard family.
Thank you very much, Marnie. Thank you, Major.
And as far as Boogaard fans, that section extends to the entire XL Energy Center. A lot of people love Boogie, and during the tribute, you heard the boo going on. Of course, that was for Boogaard, which we grew to love so well when he played for the Wild.
Giordano and Staubitz had a nice collision out of the neutral zone. I think that was a draw. Gillies on the forecheck. It's cleared all the way down. Icing is waved off right away, so a battle for the puck. Well, that'll be wiped out as Harding comes out to play it. Turned over in the corner, spinning away, trying to find some room is Kostopoulos. It ends up on the back wall, still controlled by the Flames. It was dumped back down low by Stajan, and now pinching in from the left point to keep it alive in the zone was Butler. A battle for the puck comes right back out to Butler at the left point. His shot is wide. He just flung that one towards the goal. Jackman is there, sends it around behind. Kostopoulos, Stajan waiting. It's kicked to Stajan. Tried to center on a black backhand pass, but it was knocked away. Butler steps up, knocks it back down low again. Wild bottled up. Back out to Butler on top. Looking for a seam, looking for some room. Now fires, and there was room, but it was a clear look for Josh Harding, and he makes the routine glove save.
Josh Harding has been a busy man since coming into this hockey game, and not just busy quantity, but quality as well. He's made some terrific saves and giving his team every opportunity here to be in this hockey game.
Quick shot of the Minnesota bench as they're trying to sort things out and figure out a way to get this thing tilted back the other way. Heatley, Prosser chasing, loose puck, pushed ahead now to Setaguchi. Devin Setaguchi to center, caught from behind. It was Glenn Cross that caught up with him. Now ahead on the left wing side into the Minnesota zone. Ginla, drop pass. Bork tried to fire one out front. That was rejected, but Bork stayed on the puck. Now cycles it back down low to Glenn Cross in the corner. Centers right through the crease. Trying to hook up with Ginla, and he missed it. Right back for Glenn Cross. He'll look to center again. A one-time shot goes just wide. Now Giordano stepping up. He'll ring it around to Glenn Cross. The pressure being put on by Calgary. They've had some great chances here in this period, but have not scored. Now Setaguchi on the turnover. Late in the shift, a lead pass for Setaguchi. He's got to be gassed at the end of a shift, and he does just dump it down low.
And that's the problem when you get caught in your own zone and you're cycling around and you're chasing the puck. And, by the time you get the puck back, you don't have anything left. Basically, you're just dumping it down and going for a line change. And it's tough to create offense when you're doing that.
Good play to keep it in the Minnesota zone by Como. The Wild intercept. Como was claimed off waivers from the Islanders just a few days ago. Here's Falk with a drive, and Kiprusoff able to get a piece of that one and steer it away to the corner. Smith sends it across. He'll work it to center. In across the line is Backlund. Drops it back. Nice save. Rebound. His shot just wide off the save by Harding. Backlund back to get it. Out to the point, Brody. He'll send it down low in the corner. Back out on top from Stempniak. Back to the point to Brody. His wrister got through, and another glove save by Josh Harding. They're trying to give Harding some space in the goal. Hey, time for the look ahead with our Bud Light What's on Tap. This homestand, I should say, continues and concludes against Tampa Bay here tomorrow night. And then a one-game shot to Edmonton, at home against New Jersey, and then a little bit longer road trip to start off the month of December, starting in Anaheim. That's your Bud Light What's on Tap.
Longest homestand of the season for the Minnesota Wild.
And it has the chance to be very successful, but they've got to get things turned around here in this one. Down by a goal halfway through the game. 9.5 remaining in the period. And
Josh Harding has been very solid in this period. Hansen's coming into the game in the first. Some good lateral moves. Good job coming out, cutting down angles, and finding the puck. He seems a lot more focused in this game than the one he played previous against Edmonton. And he's been a busy man.
Koivu wins that draw against the rookie Horak. Puck will be held in the zone. Tanguay turning, shooting, tipped. Bork got a piece of that one. Penalty coming up.
Calgary's going to the box. Give the Wild a chance to spend some time in the offensive zone. They've spent most of this period in their own end. A lot of good forecheck by Calgary.
Calgary family, 2 for trip.
Some good line rushes as Bork gets behind here and just takes the feed out from Justin Falk.
Well, the Wild are 1 for 1 on the power play in this game.
Mike Yeo has been visibly upset in this period, and it's likely due to the fact that they're getting passed around in their own zone quite a bit.
Prosser to Cullen. Second power play of the game for the Wild. Prosser went down, lost the puck. Luckily, Cullen saw him slip and go down and covered for the young defenseman. Nate Prosser had a good game in Calgary earlier this month. He has a +2 on that game. He got a little help from his friend, fellow Minnesotan Matt Cullen on that one. Here's Cullen in the corner. Quick spin move to the corner. Centers. Here's a shot banding on it. Prosser with a second shot, and it goes wide. Cullen diving to Setaguchi. He had an open net, but it handcuffed him, and he couldn't fire it on goal. Oh, the Wild came close in a couple of different spots on this power play. That one handcuffed Brodziak at the line. Now Setaguchi trying to find some space ahead. Cullen tried to center Setaguchi with a shot. The rebound, he smacked away at it, and Kiprusoff held his ground in the crease. Great chances for the Wild here on the power play. Still almost a minute left to go in the man advantage. Scandella being bothered by Como. Now reverses direction, and the Wild will move it ahead. Heatley will skirt back into the Minnesota end. Wild were 1 for 4 on the power play in that game against Edmonton the other night. Heatley got upended after the puck. Centering attempt knocked free, and then Bouwmeester will drive it all the way down into the Minnesota zone. Spurgeon to center. Drop pass. Bouchard to Spurgeon. Tapped it ahead. No. Intercepted and cleared. Harding has that one go bouncing by him about knee high. Koivu up with it. One final rush on the man advantage. Koivu across the line. Lost it. A bouncing puck is sent the rest of the way down into the Minnesota zone. Bork will come out of the penalty box. The Wild did get 2 shots on goal in that man advantage and had a couple of chances.
Well, the Wild getting booed right now, and it's not the kind of boo that you hear for a Boogaard on his tribute night. It's the kind of boos that says they're not satisfied with the way the Wild are playing in this one.
Well, there's whatever the attendance is tonight, +1. Add Mike Yeo to that list. Lead pass intercepted, poked ahead by Prosser, picked off, carried in by Jokinen. His quick shot is blocked, chipped ahead through the neutral zone and all the way back into the Calgary end. Rung around from behind by Smith up to the right wing side. Carried ahead by Hannon. He'll send it the rest of the way into the Minnesota zone. Nick Johnson is waiting along the wall, but Smith was ready at the left point. He kept it in. Stoner got spun around and knocked down. A shot from the wall by Glenn Cross didn't hit the mark. Now loose puck pushed ahead by Warren Peters, and the Wild will control. Here's Bouchard making some nice moves, enters the zone. Bouchard on his backhand, driving in, and it's knocked away on a good defensive play by Derek Smith. Then a shot by Clutterbuck, knocked aside.
Cullen got a good redirect there, and it just couldn't get it to go.
Stoner up the middle, across the line, and Cullen was in early, and an offside call here against Moorhead's Matt Cullen.
Play was 1 for 1 in this game, but this one not really clicking. Wild had a couple guys slip and fall, some fanned shots, and one that sails over the net by Setaguchi there. Wild just trying to do anything to find some kind of offensive momentum to get back in this hockey game, and so far in this period, a lot of the action's been down around their own net.
Yeah, Josh Harding has bailed them out a few times already this period. Some in the first, and they need to get some chances and some pucks in on Mika Kiprusoff in this game. Bouwmeester bounced one out, driven back in, gloved and knocked down by Kiprusoff as Scandella sent one towards the goal. Kostopoulos kicked that one nicely, advanced it to his line mate, and that's Jackman, and then Kostopoulos' shot hit Jackman. Another shot, that hit traffic, didn't get through to the Minnesota goaltender, Josh Harding. Scandella threw it between the heel of the stick and the skates on Matt Cullen. He was handcuffed, couldn't play the puck. Cullen enters the zone, centers in front, a backhand right on, and a nice stop. Kiprusoff just held his ground, and Heatley, who finds himself in tight a lot, did not have much room to work.
Well, he went to his backhand. I thought he might just take a quick little shot in stride and try and catch Kiprusoff by surprise. He did not. He went to the backhand and stuffed it into the goal pad.
Can't help but admire that pass by Matt Cullen.
What a thread of the needle there, as he found Heatley streaking down towards the net.
Battle along the boards. Horak had it. Setaguchi knocked it free. Kicked back in, down low to Mikko Koivu. Koivu cycles it behind. Setaguchi to the corner. Drop pass to the near corner. Koivu hustling over. Sends it out to the point. Prosser off his skate. Off the boards to Spurgeon. Spurgeon to Nate Prosser. Prosser towards the goal, and things opened up nicely for Kiprusoff, and he's able to see that one and hang on.
Well, here's that pass, and Cullen, I don't know how, look at this. He goes through the stick and skate and just beyond two defenders. And Heatley was being hooked on that play right at the end. Look at that. Grab onto the rear end there and get the stick in and on the waist.
Well, we've seen a lot less called hooking before.
And this was a scoring chance, too.
Brodziak on the draw here. It goes to the wall. It's controlled along the boards as Nick Johnson tries to turn it over. Brodziak sends it through. Powell was in the vicinity, but unable to get a touch of the puck. Now Powell steps up, knocks it down low to Johnson, and it's whistled down in the offensive zone.
Well, Nick Johnson actually making it through the game. In the last game, he was, of course, out with a penalty.
Here's your Grand Casino story of the game. Josh Harding has been the big story for Minnesota. Clutterbuck and Johnson with the goals for the Wild. They trail by 1, 3-2. Backlund turning, looking for Blake Como, intercepted. Lead pass ahead. Here comes Brodziak. He hit the crossbar earlier, draws the penalty, and the Wild will go back on the power play, a key power play with under 4 minutes now to go here in the middle period.
Well, the Wild have sprung a couple of guys down the middle, and this time it was Brodziak.
Calgary, number 27, 2 minutes, holding.
Yeah, when you spring a guy in stride, look at that, gets him on the back of the shoulder, so Smith goes off. Watch the hand come up. Referees look for this free hand, and there's the free hand grabbing as Brodziak tries to fend him off with his arm and leans into him. He gets pulled back against the balance there, and Wild with a chance here.
Spurgeon to Koivu, a shot, and he whistled one wide. Bouchard tripped up and went down. Spurgeon tried to keep the puck in. It was kicked back out through the neutral zone.
That's like, I've seen Prosser go down a couple times. Bouchard wipes out there, and Wild players losing their edge here.
Here's Pierre-Marc Bouchard. has yet to score on the power play this season. This will come back through across the wall. Poked at along the boards by Jared Spurgeon. Koivu is there. Tried to rotate it across, but he didn't get all of it. Bomeister didn't get all of it either. Now at center ice, Heatley dips back to the Minnesota blue line. Wild getting stuck flat-footed. Now Clutterbuck has it poke checked away across the line. Koivu will go to the left side. Bouchard fighting that puck. And now back to Koivu. Now across the line. He'll chase it down. Picks it up. Koivu will push it off on the left wing side. Bouchard to Koivu. To Pierre-Marc. Back to Mikko. On top, Jared Spurgeon. Spurgeon looking for a seam. Now back to Koivu. Now to Bouchard. Bouchard. Saucer pass. Spurgeon turns. He shoots. That goes just wide. It missed everybody, including the goaltender and the Calgary goal. 45 to go in the man advantage for Minnesota. Late here in the second period, the Wild trailing by 1. Spurgeon across the line ahead to Devin Setoguchi. Slams on the brakes. Tosses it back down low. He'll go after it. Picked up by Brodziak. Back out to the point. Here's Scandella. He shoots. That's blocked in front.
Had to pay the price on that one. Bomeister, I think, blocked it.
Setoguchi now calling. He shoots. Rebound. Fanned on by Brodziak. Things just opened up all of a sudden, but Kiprusoff able to keep it out.
It's a great glove save there. Kiprusoff got the arm up in time.
Final seconds on this power play.
Second look here as the glove of Kiprusoff keeps this a 1-goal difference in this hockey game.
Here's Bork into the Minnesota zone. It slides off his stick. He'll be the first man into the corner to touch it. Centering pass comes all the way through to the point. Giordano kept it alive in the zone. That shot was wide. Bork after it, being bothered by Marco Scandella. They go to the corner. Loose puck is intercepted out in the high slot. Nick Johnson already has a goal in this game. Johnson will cross the blue line and dump it all the way around. He'll take it back behind. Johnson steps out front of backhand. And Kiprusoff with the save on Nick Johnson. Good to see the Wild get a chance with just over a minute to go here in the second period. Schultz to center. Leads it ahead. Carried across the line, then knocked back. Trying to get it is Powell. Powell battling through Stempniak. And it's dumped in from center back behind. Under a minute remaining in the period. This is Butler. If that name sounds familiar, he played for the Denver Pioneers in the WCHA. Stempniak turns and sends it in. All of our goal scoring in the first half of the first period. Heatley had that one go off a deflection. Penalty coming up here, and as Setoguchi gets a touch, a holding penalty, or is it going to go against the Flames?
Oh, holding the stick is going to be the call. Danny Heatley, I think, felt that maybe he was going to get it, but it went the other way. Holding the stick.
So Stempniak will go to the box. He came over from Phoenix last August.
Watch it here as he gives him a bit of a chop, and actually Heatley should have got a penalty for slashing there as he knocked the stick out of the hands, and then he basically grabbed onto Heatley's stick. So the Wild, they can't do anything in the next 31.8 seconds. They'll carry it into the third.
Good opportunity for the home team, down by a goal, to gain some momentum here late, hopefully, and carry it over in the next period. Well played for a moment there by Bouchard, who got it down low to the corner. A sharp angle shot by Clutterbuck is stopped, and then a clearing attempt is knocked down by Heatley. Comes loose to Scott Hannon. He'll ring it around to the corner. It'll be held in by Spurgeon. He steps up. There's a loose stick on the ice, and that'll get in the way, and the puck will be cleared all the way back down. Harding looking up ice. Harding waiting. Now taps it ahead to Bouchard. It's in the skates of Pierre-Marc. He'll flip it ahead as the period comes to an end. And Kostopoulos gave him a little shot, and the boys will discuss what happened in that period. Cal Brodziak and Marnie coming up in just a moment as we go to our second intermission here in St. Paul. Wild still trailing by 1. Derek Boogaard still in the hearts and minds of many here in St. Paul after a pregame tribute to the Boogeyman. And now the Wild with 20 minutes to go in this one, need to find a way once again to come from behind in the third period. Something that they have, I don't want to say made routine, but they've done a few times.
Well, you get the feeling with this year's edition of the Minnesota Wild that it's not insurmountable. They have been very resilient in tough situations, and so yeah, you definitely feel like there's a possibility of the Wild doing something here.
On the power play to start the third period, Jared Spurgeon slaps one in. 1:16 remaining in the penalty time on Stempniak. Spurgeon will pinch in, but he gets there too late. Luckily, Pierre-Marc Bouchard had anticipated the clearing attempt, and he was waiting at center ice. Taps it ahead to Koivu, who sends it in. Along the boards, in comes Heatley. Heatley sends it back to the point. Spurgeon is waiting. Jared Spurgeon, now to Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Back for Spurgeon, quickly to the right side. Centered in front, Heatley tipped it. He redirected it just wide of the goal.
I like that play, but it's got to be on a harder shot because that kind of deflection from that high up is tough to really beat a goaltender in this league on.
Clutterbuck from Harding tried to find a way to thread the needle through to Matt Cullen. Cullen does end up with the puck. Now to Cal Clutterbuck, who banks it off the corner, goes in after it on the back wall, fights through a check, and it's cleared. It got by Nate Prosser and all the way down. Harding will leave it there. 20 seconds to go in the power play for Minnesota. This is their third power play of the game. Clutterbuck scored on the Minnesota's initial power play back in the first period. That was the first goal of this game. Cullen sends it behind. Brodziak off the boards. Prosser to Scandella towards the goal. It goes wide off the back wall. Butler sends it up along the boards. Prosser got a piece of it. Stempniak out of the box, and luckily it missed the mark. Harding is way out. He shoots, he scores from the corner. Harding was trying to get back in the goal. It goes off of him into the back of the net, and it's been that kind of game for the Wild goaltenders.
Harding had no choice but to come out and play that one, and he had to play it so far out of his net that he didn't get back in time. I don't know whether that went off of him and into the net or whether it was a direct shot into the net, but here's the play, and he does the right thing. He couldn't go anywhere else with it, really. I mean, it was just a great read by Tanguay, who knew that if he plays it, he has to play it from a certain spot, and yeah, that went underneath of Harding, and Tanguay puts his team up by 2. Just an unfortunate play there.
Well, Tanguay's seen a little bit of everything. He's 32 years old. He's got 700 points in the National Hockey League. He hit that milestone this month at Columbus. So he found a way to put it in the net, and it's a 4-2 lead for the Calgary Flames. Unassisted, and that was an even strength goal. The penalty time had expired, and Tanguay gets him up by 2. Now the Wild really have some third period work ahead of them. Have all the goals in this game for Calgary been through the 5-hole?
5-hole-esque, yes.
Every one of them.
Although that last one was, yeah, I guess you could technically say it was. He was scampering back to his net.
Brodziak trying to break that one up. Iginla reaches back, slides it ahead, and pushes it deep into the Minnesota zone around to Tim Jackman. Jackman, who played for Minnesota State Mankato. In fact, the first Maverick ever drafted in the National Hockey League. Pushed into the corner. Johnson hit by Giordano. Johnson pokes it free. Brodziak chasing it around, gliding along the wall. Now he'll send it back behind. Here's Nick Johnson trying to elude the defense. Cuts back behind. Nick Johnson lost it there. Powell will take up the battle. Now Brodziak crosses with Powell. Powell trying to get it back to Brodziak. It's backhanded ahead and out to center. Off of Justin Falk. Loose puck picked up by Michael Backlund. He'll send it into the Minnesota end. Spurgeon. Headman's a pass that'll go to Powell at center, off his skates, chasing it towards the goal, but Bouwmeester got there first. Bouwmeester pushes it away from Darryl Powell up along the boards to Stempniak. He'll go out to center. Como has it. He'll dump it in rink wide, bouncing into the right corner. Scandella takes the hit from Horak, knowing that he had his D partner Stoner coming over to pick up the loose puck. Butler lost it, but nobody pursuing as the Wild had changed on the fly. So Butler taking his time, gets it across to Jay Bouwmeester. Bomeister came over a couple years ago from the Florida Panthers in a trade that sent Jordan Leopold to Florida, at least for a while. From center, Koivu sends it in. Setaguchi chasing. Giordano lost track of it. Now Koivu looking, tried to feather one out into the high slot for Setaguchi, but it was turned aside, back to the corner, sent around by Smith. Chasing is Koivu. Picked up and dumped to center. Goes off the skate there of Nick Schultz, who hustles back to pick up the loose puck. Schultz drops it back behind the Minnesota goal. Plenty of time you could see remaining in the third period, but the Wild now down by 2. Schultz, lead pass, got by Cullen, all the way to the corner. Cullen will go to the left side, get it, rings it around, gloved and knocked down by Bouchard. His centering attempt comes right back to him. Bouchard to Cullen, slot, one-timer block. A second shot by Clutterbuck is knocked away to the corner. Cullen and Bouchard battling for Minnesota. There's Butch. Back to the point, long shot by Falk, blocked out in the circle, picked up, dropped off, Clutterbuck, quick shot, goes over the glove and over the top of the goal. Cullen, some offensive zone time for the Wild. Cullen knocked down, Spurgeon hustling back, Spurgeon will keep it in. Nicely done by Jared Spurgeon. Now here's Cullen in the corner, looking, tried to center, and it was partially blocked and trickled in towards the goal, and it's carried out to center by Butler. He had been out there quite a while, so he dumps it quickly into the Minnesota zone. Falk got caught with the puck. Kostopoulos taking it away. Kostopoulos goes down. Stajan has it now. Back for Kostopoulos. Back for Stajan in the corner. Cleared up along the boards where Powell tried to clear it out. Now Falk hitting Stajan. Shot by Kostopoulos, and that's turned aside by Harding. Out to center ice. The puck is turned back over. Powell trying to get it back. Kicked around, now on the right wing wall. It's dumped to center by Kostopoulos. Turned over, here's Johnson moving in. Lost the puck as he tried to make a move towards the goal. Schultz. Long pass intercepted by Bomeister. He'll dump it all the way down. This is going to be icing, but Harding will play it. That will eliminate the icing. Passes behind Nick Schultz, plays it nicely off the boards, flips it to center, redirected in by Setaguchi, looks over his shoulder. Giordano sends it to the corner, knocked down by Koivu, back up along the corner wall, and the Flames will work it out to center ice. Dashing up the right side is Brody, who will send it in. Backlund on goal, stick save, push quickly ahead to Setaguchi, out towards Koivu, off of Koivu's stick. And the Flames will take over again. They'll drive it in where Prosser intercepts. Nate Prosser rotates it across the right side. Wild in control of the puck, down by 2. Here's Heatley. He'll get the neutral zone. Gets a second shot at it. Knocked back into the Minnesota zone. Stoner off the skate, off the boot of Devin Setaguchi. He sends it in. Cullen will chase. Knocked away from Cullen. Knocked away from Bouchard. Out at center. Stoner leads one ahead on the backhand off the glass. Clutterbuck now on the forecheck for the Wild. Out to center ice, going back to get it is the former Badger, Rene Bourque, who finally dumps it in. Now it's picked up by Stoner, tried to jam it along the boards, gets a second shot at it. Clutterbuck flips it out to neutral ice. A bouncing puck is controlled there by Bouchard, neatly drops it off. Here's Cullen. Cullen with a shot, toe save by Kiprusoff. He had Clutterbuck going to the goal. Broke it up nicely at the other end by Scandella. Spinning, trying to gain control along the wall is Matt Cullen. In comes Clutterbuck with a hit on Horak. It's controlled out at center by Falk. Sends it back in, but Cullen was trapped way in offside.
A lot better puck possession in the last couple of minutes by the Wild, and there has not been a whistle in quite some time. Maybe that's the kind of flow that they needed.
Controlled, back to Jokinen, centering. Jokinen looking for that feed, and it's knocked away. It comes all the way back out into the Calgary Flames zone. Off the stick of Brodziak at center ice. Smith rotates it across. Fed ahead to Jokinen, to Glencross. Glencross fires, he got a lot on it, but it whistled wide of the goal. Here's Jerome Iginla working, looking for space. Got it to Glencross, now to Jokinen. Back down low, here's Curtis Glencross. Centers it in front, loose puck, they score! Oh, battling through a body in front was Iginla to put it away.
Well, that just shows you the strength that Iginla has, because he was tangled up with Justin Falk, who is fairly strong in his own right, and Iginla just powered and won that battle. Watch the little give and go in the corner, and then Iginla goes right to the net, and he just steps around Falk, gets his stick down, and just a tap in for Jerome Iginla.
That's in football known as the swim move.
Yeah.
It works pretty well in front of the net, too.
Well, Iginla, I think, could play football not because of his size, but because of his tenacity. Little chit-chat there, and I think he got a little bit of shower there with the water bottle. Here he goes. He's having some words with somebody, and
wow.
Like conduct.
Yeah, and it's going to cost. Yeah, there it is right there. It was either snow or water, but he I believe, draws a penalty on the Wild now for unsportsmanlike, so the Wild will send someone to the penalty box. So it gets worse here for the Wild. This is the third time this season the Wild have given up 5 goals in a game. You recall the time against the Los Angeles Kings, a 5-2 loss. Last game, a 5-2 loss against Edmonton, and right now they trail 5-2 once again. This time to the Calgary Flames.
We don't know who scored it again,
Right.
but Brad Staubitz will serve the penalty. It does not in any way indicate that he did it. I don't know, when a guy scores a goal and goes to the opponent's bench chirping, I don't know that there's a deserved power play there, but nonetheless it will be.
Well, it's not the chirping that drew it, it's the water bottle squirt. So you can see some of the frustration coming out here.
Bouwmeester has it. It's a 3-goal Calgary Flames lead. Still over half a period to go. The goals in this game have come in bunches, bunched up in the first part of the first period, and now here in the first half of our third period of play. Flames have not scored on the power play as of yet. Bouwmeester sends it back to the point. It's controlled there. Pushed across by Derek Smith. They'll work it down low. They tried to thread one through, up bouncing high for Tanguay on the far side. Schultz battling on the back wall. It comes to the side of the goal. Harding was watching there. It comes all the way around, slowly back to Bouwmeester. He'll go left. Smith. Sharp angle shot. May have hit a body in front as Glenncross, and then it dropped in front of Harding. He covers up. And the Wild still trying to hold their own ground in their own zone and keep the Flames out of Harding's way. Minnesota Wild have a couple of new 5-game ticket plans called the High Five Fan Pack. There's a weekend plan, a weeknight plan, a combo plan. Buy 2, you'll save nearly $150. Go to wild.com/high5 or call 651-222-WILD.
Well, the Wild definitely being physical on that last play. Prosser trying to take Glenncross out of the way.
And Calgary enjoying some goal scoring. This is the first time that they have scored, a second time they've scored 5 goals. And so they are enjoying what has happened here, and they got off to that quick start early in the first period, and now the Wild are playing catch-up, going back to just for the brief time they led on the Cal Clutterbuck goal to start the game.
Well, Mike Yeo talked this morning about the defense and about the situation coming up here as Lundin gets healthy, and of course as Greg Zanin gets healthy too.
Stempniak shot that one wide. He found an opening and shot it through the crease wide of the post.
And because of that, there's going to be some quick internal competition for that blue line. And in the last couple games, a team that's not used to giving up a lot of goals has given up 10 in the last 2 games. And that will certainly bring about some lineup changes, you'd think. Mike Lundin, very likely, I would say, could see himself in the lineup against his former team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, tomorrow. That, of course, is just a guess, but I think it's safe to say that Mike Yeo gave his squad a chance to respond in this game, and probably won't like the response.
Well, there aren't a lot of changes you can make with the roster as it is right now, and that's one that can be made, and I'm sure he's going to look for something to try and spark this team. Cleared ahead along the boards, bouncing puck, and they're going to say that Heatley beat the puck across the blue line. He's offside.
Just trying to extend the ice, and Heatley gets little too far ahead on that one. So Mike Yeo, he's faced a little different situation here now that he's had to face this season. Of course, this could be only the second 2-game losing streak the Wild have had this season if they lose this game, which is certainly a positive, because you go through a season and you're at this point in the season and that's only happened maybe looking like 2 times. That's pretty good.
Jackman's shot off the glove hand of Josh Harding. Staubitz is out of the box. Wild back at full strength. He was serving that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for the Minnesota Wild bench. Hannon, free agent signing in the offseason with the Calgary Flames. Bothered there by Nick Johnson. Giordano has it. He'll flip it ahead. Out to the neutral zone. Spinning, trying to find it. Reaching is Brodziak. Dumped into the Minnesota zone where it's picked up by Nick Schultz. Stoner. Headman's a pass at center. Carried ahead, now dished off to Bouchard. Down low, here's Nick Johnson. Chases, pursues all the way around. Flings it back behind. Knocked down by Cullen. Kicks it ahead to his stick. Changes direction. Stepping out is Bouchard to the point. Schultz shoots it wide. Cullen dumps it in front. Knocked away by Kiprusoff. Nick Johnson got twisted and spun around. Puck cleared to the point. Hustling across was Nick Schultz. And now Cullen. Centers. Knocked back behind. Kiprusoff may have gotten a touch on that one. Cullen has it, reaching for it, sends it back along the wall. Here's Pierre-Marc Bouchard on the puck. Poke check free from Bouchard by Bourque. And Bouchard hustles back, taps it across to Stoner, who lays one out at center ice. Horak has it there for Calgary. Ahead to Como. Leads it into the zone. It's stripped away, but held in at the right point by Brody. Tanguay goes into the boards, down on his own accord. He'll get up slowly, but I don't think anybody caused him to go down.
Yeah, he's shaken up. The referee's going to blow the whistle here.
And we'll take a timeout as well. Wild in trouble here at home. Take a look at our CenturyLink high-speed play of the game.
Well, great keep by Brodziak, who gets it over to Nick Johnson. He wires one up top shelf. High-speed play because you transition hockey, and that was a high-speed shot.
Good shot by the rookie. Grew up in Calgary. Got in a fight with Jerome McGinley up there earlier this month. Didn't get to finish the game. Got a match penalty for headbutting. Didn't look like he headbutted
but
him,
no suspension.
But nothing else.
Well, the Wild still looking, I believe, for their first shot of this period.
Yeah, they're looking for that first elusive shot, and Calgary's done a good job at the end of a road trip for the Flames, trying to get things turned around, and appear to have done so, at least for now. Carried ahead by Setaguchi. The Wild offside again.
When a team's forcing you at the blue line, you're forced to make that extra little move, a little stutter step, and sometimes it forces your line mates offside. We got a lot of little focus issues in this game, and maybe not so little. Seen some errant passes and some plays that normally you won't see the Wild do, or at least not during one of their 2 5-game winning streaks that they've collected this year.
And goals that you know that Nicholas Backstrom, who started this game, would not normally allow. As he didn't make it through the first period before they went to Josh Harding.
Which isn't to say the Wild played flawlessly when they win games. It's just that they seem to be compounding a lot of their errors in this hockey game.
Stoner leads one, bouncing towards Cullen. Cullen gets knocked down as he got rid of the puck. Controlled back in the Minnesota zone. Stoner back at center. Gives it to Clutterbuck, who drives in. Clutterbuck tried to cut back towards the middle of the ice. Got run off the play. Now picked up by Backlund. He'll flip one ahead. Stoner is out at center, waiting for that puck. Sends it across to Nick Schultz. Now to Brodziak. Had to slow things down. Broken up at the line by Jackman. Tuesday, Calgary will be at home against Nashville. The Wild will be at home tomorrow night against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Spurgeon ahead to Nick Johnson. He'll send it in deep. Pushed away by Kiprusoff. Shoveled back to the corner there by Brodziak. Johnson is waiting. Powell comes in. Powell working along the boards. Double team there. Got it down low. Out of the corner. This is Brodziak in front. He had Nick Johnson in front. Now Spurgeon down low. Spurgeon around behind the goal. Sends it out to the point to Schultz. And Schultz will just tuck it back in behind the Minnesota goal. Along the boards, Kostopoulos plays it. Wild changing the defensive pairing with the puck deep in the zone, and it's not in for long as it's cleared all the way back to the Minnesota blue line. Prosser rotates it across for Justin Falk. Into the zone, but not deep. Flip back out where Falk knocks it down with his glove, sends it across to Prosser. Jackman had a touch at it, so did Staubitz. Now controlled by Horak, sends it across on the right side to Butler. Butler, a St. Louis, Missouri native, battling there, got it to the Minnesota line, to the other 44 on the ice. That's Justin Falk. Ahead into the Calgary zone with under 5 minutes remaining here in third period play. Horak again sends it up along the boards. Out come the Flames. Chip to center. Trying to catch up is Stempniak. Stempniak is spun around off the play there. And the puck on the right wing wall is gathered up and controlled by the Minnesota Wild. Off a skate, it goes back into the Minnesota zone. Right side, Lee Stempniak. His shot off the pipe. He beat Harding over the left shoulder and it hit the post. Still in the Minnesota zone. Jokinen sends it slowly into the far corner. Schultz plays it out of the corner. Sends a bouncer out of the zone. It's chucked right back into the Minnesota end. We hit the 16-minute mark here of the third period. Stoner slows it down. Wild 5-2 losers last time out. Have the exact same score up here on the board at XL Energy Center. Late here in the game. Heatley ahead. Koivu. Seneguchi through a screen. It bounces in and Kiprusoff scoops it up and hangs on with Mikko Koivu right in his face. Make time for a Toyota text question. It comes from Shannon from Plymouth. He wants to know if the Vancouver Canucks have woken up or shaken off that Stanley Cup hangover.
Well, I believe that they have as they start to climb the charts there. They played one more game than the Wild did before this one, but still, the points are there, and you kind of look, and all of a sudden they're right behind you. And the Wild need to shake off this play of the last game and this game in order to keep Vancouver from continuing their climb. I believe they've won 4 in a row.
Wild trying to not lose 2 in a row here as Koivu got tripped up out in the high slot right before Heatley tried to get him the puck. Sent back behind the Minnesota goal. 3.5 to go. This is Spurgeon. Scandella had to reach for that one. McGinley was right on him. Heatley pokes it ahead. They're offside again. Well, let's take a look at our Abra hit of the game. It's not a hit on a body. It's a hit on the post crossbar somewhere in the corner.
Now, this would have tied the game if that would have gone in, and instead, it's a game of inches.
May have changed things greatly. You never know. These two teams will meet again next month, December 20th at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. Stoner back to control that puck in the Minnesota end. 3 minutes remain here in the third period. During the intermission, ran into Wyatt Smith, former Gopher, former Wild center. Scouting for Tampa Bay now. Of course, they come in here tomorrow night to play the Wild. Butler knocked it behind. It got past Cullen just underneath his stick. Cleared out to center. It's knocked down and Stoner rotates it right. Wild will change the forward trio here as long as they have possession of the puck with 2.5 to go. Redirected in towards the goal. Kiprusoff gloves it with Brodziak in the vicinity. He will hang on. 5-2 Flames.
We hope you'll join us after the final seconds for Wild Live presented by CenturyLink, including the Toyota postgame wrap as we look at Calgary and the Flames heating up for 5 goals tonight in St. Paul. Plus Mike Yeo in his postgame press conference. And Dan Terhar and Mike Greenlay on the ice in our instructional. Guys, tell us more about this one. Puck retrieval on the ice.
Well, we're going to be not running each other into the boards, but we're going to show you how the Wild this season have change their puck retrieval a little bit.
It'll be a non-contact demo on the ice. Jamming away in front, but Kiprusoff able to find that one with Daryl Powell right there, trying to poke one past Kipper.
Well, Brodziak's actually had a fairly good game. Made some good plays. Got a helper in this game. Could have, as we showed you, had a goal to tie the game earlier, but things went south for the Wild in this one.
From center ice, it's poke check free. Backlund is on that loose puck. Backlund leads one in. It goes off the stick there of Justin Falk, who will chase it down. Off the boards, out to center. Powell sends it in. Kiprusoff slowing it down, giving it up. Tossed it across there to Brody. Loose in the high slot. Brodziak in traffic. And now Nick Johnson after it. Collides with Brody. They go shoulder to shoulder. Brodziak spinning. Tried to make a really nifty spin move, but couldn't control it. Wild were changing D, so Spurgeon got a late start. That shot goes high in front of Josh Harding and out to the point area where the Wild are trying to clear the puck, and they do to center. Sent right back in by Scott Hannon. He's hit there by Warren Peters. Centered into the slot. A one-timer right on. Harding with the save. Rebound. They score! They wave it off after the puck went in, and now the things get rough. Stajan is in the middle of that mess. Got his helmet ripped off.
Well, the puck did go in the net, but it was, I believe, whistled down, or at least the attempt was there to.
Probably
I'm not sure.
Interference.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. Other than that, I wasn't sure why they would whistle that down.
We'll find out.
Ball on the play. Number 18 for Calgary. He's got 2 minutes for goaltender interference.
There's your call. They don't need the offense right now. Up 5-2. Comfortable lead. Take one more look here as Harding makes the first save, and actually, you know what? He was actually knocked into the goaltender, Josh Harding, by Powell. So maybe a little bit of a break there for the Wild.
Power play number 4 for the Wild. With just 1:15 to go, what happened? Off the draw. That's Hannon? Yeah, it is. I don't know what happened to him.
Well, he probably got tangled up there right on the face-off, because there wasn't a shot in which to block.
I don't think that anybody on the ice, except for maybe Scott Hannon, knows what happened. Let's look.
He got twisted up there.
Oh. Yeah, his knee crushed a little bit. And stand corrected. 5th power play of the game for the Wild, not 4th. Scandella rotates it quickly to the right side. Spurgeon unloads one. He misses the mark. It goes wide. Heatley keeps it in play, and it hops over the stick of Marco Scandella. Gives it to Jared Spurgeon. Now back across to number 6, Marco Scandella, with 1 minute to go in the game. Koivu muscled and willed that one through to the corner. Setaguchi rims it around on the back wall. Centered into the high slot. It gets all the way through to Spurgeon. Spurgeon makes a little move on Glenn Cross, then pokes it ahead to the corner where Mikko Koivu taps it around behind to Devin Setaguchi. Setaguchi took the hit, had the puck. Heatley couldn't get it. Koivu in the slot, waiting, looking for an opening shot. Rebound. Setaguchi flipped it up in the air, and it went wide in front of the goal. Half a minute to go. Koivu to Setaguchi. Pinned up there by Bouwmeester. Koivu comes in, takes the puck right back to the point. Glove down by Spurgeon. Now to Marco Scandella. Scandella to Spurgeon. Taps it across. Koivu looking towards the goal. In front, trying to hook up with Heatley. Heatley could not get the redirect. Back on top, Spurgeon, Koivu, one-timer, blocked, chipped all the way down the ice, bouncing down into the Minnesota zone, and that's where it's going to end. Touched by Josh Harding, and the Wild fans will leave a little disappointed. And A 5-2 loss here. Here's our temp star of the game, Lee Stempniak. Had a goal, had 3 shots on goal here tonight for the Calgary Flames.
He was involved. A lot of the players on the Flames were involved, and they took advantage of some of the young D for the Wild, who looked like young D tonight for the first time in maybe all season as a group.
Well, this game started off with 3 goals earlier, 5 goals early in the first half of the period. Mike Pomerantz and the Wild just couldn't quite get in a groove, and they lose for the second game in a row.
Yeah, here's one where Calgary comes into this game with the fewest goals scored in the Western Conference. They put up 5 tonight. You're going to hear from Mike Yeo as well. He'll certainly be animated. And we're going to talk puck retrieval.